You just happened to win at that time because there was no one running fast.
Happened to win? No. The whole thing about sport is you need to beat. It's you. If we were to talk about
athletics is different. Athletics is different. No, it's not. You're not running. You're not always running against the people you're next to.
Let's give these all a good mix up. Be my guest. Take the first topic.
Alright, what are we discussing first? Okay. Alright. Cool, so why am I putting it back in? Athletics, male sprinting. Tyson Gay versus Justin Gatlin. Who you taking? I know what I'm taking. I'm taking Tyson Gay.
Interesting.
I'll outline why. So, first, a few key facts. We've got Tyson Gay is one of the greatest sprinters of all time. That's the headline. Tyson Gay, one of the greatest sprinters of all time. Why is he? Few key facts. 3-time world gold medalist, 1-time world silver medalist, US national record holder, 2nd fastest man all time, 6th fastest 200 meter time all time, was a Diamond League champion in 2010, first man sub 10 in the 100, sub 20 in the 200, and sub 45 in the 400.
He was first man sub 20
2010
in 200.
That's the overall. That's the initial boom. Top that.
What was the world record before? Before Usain Bolt broke the world record, it couldn't have been 20 seconds.
No. So he's the first man to go sub 10 in the 100, sub 20 in the 200,
oh,
and sub 45 in the 400.
I get you.
Have all three of those.
Like Fred Curley. Do you have
I'm assuming he's done that now.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean now.
Yeah, so he was the first person to do that back in 2010.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the brief introduction. See, there's got more up my sleeve, but I'll let you try and come back with.
Try and come back. Try
and come back with whatever you got on.
No, I'm sorry. It's definitely, of the two of them, it's definitely Justin Gatlin. Not only has he got a career that spanned 2 decades. What's saying Olympic champion, 4-time world champion. He's got the top 10 times in his career all exist between 9.74, which is his PB, and 9.8. That's 10 times. That's so consistency. 2-time NCAA champ and 8-time national champion. In other words, US trials, Eugene usually wears. It's consistently going to be one man's face, Justin Gatlin. I'm sorry, those key facts that you gave out, I think my key facts are better. And that's just to gloss the top. Before we even dive in.
All right, so I respect Justin Gatlin. First of all, with this who you take in, these are people who are in the upper echelon of male sprinting. There's only a few people who are in that top 10 all-time male sprinting. We know who Usain Bolt is. But say you were to take out Usain Bolt, who would you consider the greatest? And that's the conversation that these two are in. So if I give you more numbers, right? I know Justin Gatlin. What I would say my point is Justin Gatlin, and I'm sure you'll say, does have a consistent long body of work. But Tyson Gay's peak in 07, who's had a higher peak than that? His peak in 07, you know I told you he was a 3-time world gold medalist? All in the same year. 07. Before he done that, only 2 people had done that before. That was in 83 and 87. Can't remember their names, but he won the 100, 200, and 4x100 golds at that World Championships. That's dominance. That's the highest level you can achieve in 1 year, I went in male sprinting. You got 100, 200, 4x100 golds. You're the best guy. Not many sprinters in history can say they've achieved that in a year. That they are the best verbatim in the year. And he ran the world leading time. He hadn't yet got a world record, but that was coming soon. That's his peak. He still has the national record, and he's retired. So,
but there's something to be said about running fast once, running fast maybe twice, but then running fast all the time. And when you look at Justin Gatlin, he runs fast all the time. If I just look at some of the things that he's only ever been out of the top 3. Those are the top 3. First, second, third. Top 3. Only times he's ever done that, 3 times. Across 20 years. In 3 championships, did he not come first, second, or third? I'm sorry.
And like I said, I get what you're saying.
Sorry.
He's got a long career. But I knew you were going to come with that argument. And what I did was consistency, right? Consistency.
Yeah.
100. Sub 980. Because we're talking top of the tops now. I understand, that going sub 10 really is the standard for a great sprinter. But we're not talking great sprinters. We're talking extraordinary
We're picking
sprinters.
between 2 elite sprinters. Top of the tops.
Tyson Gay went sub 980 in the 100 on 7 different occasions. And these are like official clockings. These are official world ranked races.
Yeah.
7 times he ran sub 980.
7 times.
Yeah. So did Justin Gatlin.
Justin Gatlin did it 10 times.
He only did it 7 times.
No, he didn't.
980. Sub 980.
Between the top 10 times in his career, all exist between 9.74 and 9.80. That's 980, right?
Yeah, but sub
10
980.
times. So when you say sub 990, doesn't that not include?
Doesn't include
980. Fair enough.
200. Sub 1980. Tyson Gay ran that 9 times. Justin Gatlin only 7. And Justin Gatlin had a really long career. But the reason why I take Tyson Gay is because the peak was higher. And the reason why I say that is we all know what Usain Bolt did in sprinting.
Yeah, but this isn't about Usain Bolt.
If he wasn't there, who would be the best? Tyson Gay. And that's why you have to take him.
I don't think so.
9.69. Justin Gatlin never ran sub 9.7.
That's, one could argue it's because he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
That's
so
his body of work.
But imagine.
I'm taking you based on your body of work, not what you could have done.
Yeah, and I'm doing the same. I'm saying but Tyson Gay, yes, nice. He ran what 9.69. I think that's his fastest, 9.69, and that's obviously, like you said, the national record. Yes, the national record for the United States. He's been on relay winning teams. Some of those teams that won medals as well that he was on, Justin Gatlin was on too. And it's not just that. Even while we're starting to see a new breed of athlete who are aging like fine wine. There's something to be said for a man who in 2019 was still running top of the top times against the likes of the new breed, Christian Colemans of the world, and still medaling. In fact, he was world champion. And that, I don't know where Tyson Gay was. When Usain Bolt left, everybody was like, oh, okay, we're going to crown the new king of sprinting. The new king of sprinting is going to be one of these young guys, maybe Trayvon Bromell or Christian Coleman or someone like that. Justin Gatlin was like, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm not ready to retire. And I think he's 40 now, and obviously now he's retired. But
the issue is when he was dominating, when he was winning, the times were so much slower. So when he won his world championship gold, he didn't even run sub 9.9.
Hey,
when he won his world
when you win
silver,
gold, you win gold.
And this is what I'm saying. So my argument is Tyson Gay's peak was higher. So at the end of the day, I know you won that gold, but the time wasn't impressive. Athletics is about times more than wins.
In the grand scheme of things, yes, times are what is important and all of that goodness. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. there's something to be said of someone who can do it over and over and over again at the highest stage too, over someone who does it once, twice, maybe 3 times. And for me, it's not only about times, but it's about where you do it. The other day we were on another show, we were talking about which is the highest stage, and we both agreed the Olympics is the highest stage. World Championships is nice, but the Olympics is where everybody wants to do it. This guy is an Olympic champion. Tyson K can't say that.
And I know he is an Olympic champion. It's true. Injuries happen in sport. I would say injuries cost Tyson Gay his Olympic medals, and amongst other things, which we'll discuss later. But it's a sport where, for example, if we were discussing swimming, or if we were discussing tennis, there's certain things that you consider. So in tennis, it doesn't matter how many sets it takes you to win a game. That's not what matters. It's not, I won this many sets on the way to my Wimbledon championship.
Yeah,
it's the wins.
Exactly.
Just like in athletics,
it's
the most impressive thing is the times.
No, because it's what you just said.
Because if I win, so recently, a bit off topic, but what's her name? The American sprinter with all the flavor, with all the
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson beat Elaine Thompson recently. This is very recent.
In the rain, yeah.
And they ran 11:3.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, she won. Some people were like, oh, she won. And then other people were like, the time wasn't great.
I think it was with a headwind as well. It was really bad conditions.
Yeah, of course. But the time was 11:3.
Yeah.
And next race, she raced Sharika Jackson, Shalane Fraser-Price, the two
and
who
where
have
was
been
she?
on fire this season.
Where was she?
She came 5th.
Exactly.
And she ran 10:93, which is her time.
And good conditions too.
Yeah,
has
good conditions. And she ran a good time for her. But she came 5th.
Not for her though.
It was a good time.
No, because you said it's about times, right? What's her PB?
So her PB is like 10.72 or something.
Isn't that like the 4th fastest? What is she? 4th or 5th fastest woman of all time?
Oh, it won't be anymore because
Sharika Jackson is in there.
Mary Jessie Talu, or whatever her name is. Sorry, Talu.
Yikes!
Yeah, I think that is her name. Talu ran that time. In a race where Shalane Fraser-Price ran.
Fair enough.
And someone else did as well. So I'm not sure if it's 5th all time, but she ran 10:93, which is way faster than 11:3.
Mm-hmm.
But she came 5th, and she won that one at 11:3. So what I'm saying is the most important thing in athletics is the times you're clocking. Gold medals are great, and of course they are, and that's showing that you can perform at a big stage when the pressure's on.
Yeah.
But when we're talking great, when nitpicking, this is upper echelon.
Yeah, we're nitpicking, but if you don't have the hardware, you can't be involved in the conversation, and that's your time might be nice. Again, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Might be nice. It's the second
You're
fastest
saying
man of all time.
I hear that, but first of all, where did he run the second fastest time of all time? Where was it?
It was in a meet, Diamond League meet.
So what happened at the Olympics? What about London 2012 when Bolt was everybody was meant to be challenging him, and I'm pretty sure he was running good times at that point in time too.
He ran 980. He came 4th.
980. Who came 3rd?
Justin Gatlin at 979.
Exactly. So in that situation, a regular meet, it's nice you're running a fast time, but Sha'Carri Richardson did that. She ran a really fast time at a regular meet, but when it comes to the World Championships or when it's coming to the Olympics,
he's a 3-time world gold medalist. So I'm not it's not like he never did.
And I'm saying that Justin Gatlin is a 4-time Olympic champion and 4-time world champion and an Olympic champion.
Do you have the breakdown of his times at those World Championships?
I don't need to because he has the hardware.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. What I'm valuing more is if those 4 World Championship wins were at 9.8, 9.7, still slower than Tyson Gay, but we're at 9.7, 9.8, 9.8.
And some of them will be.
Mm-hmm. Then, yeah. But the fact that 2 of them, I know, are at 9.9, it reduces the value of it. Not
Tyson Gay run at that one as well.
Not against Trayvon Bromell, not against Andre DeGrasse, not against people who are trying to ascend or people who don't have the body of work of Tyson Gay. But the fact that Tyson Gay has his body of work and has a faster time, I'm sorry.
Wait, what body of work though? How many times as a national champion is he?
I don't have that, but he is still the national record holder.
Again, you can be the national record holder. That's fine.
One-time world silver medalist. And when he won that silver, he ran 9.71, which was behind who? Usain Bolt at 9.58. Justin Gatlin has never ran 9.71.
No, he ran 9.74.
Yeah, they're slower than 9.71.
It's not that much slower.
Yeah, well, okay, but when Tyson Gay lost, came fourth, he ran 9.80, which is
not that much slower. But guess what? I said hardware means something.
Yeah, but, okay,
if he came second, then all right. Second. If Justin Gatlin came second and then Tyson Gay came third, different story, because they have the hardware to show it. What are you going to tell your grandchildren? Oh, I ran a blistering time of 9.8. Oh, but granddaddy, where's the medal?
Yeah, he came fourth.
Everybody talks about times.
No, this is athletics.
No, in athletics I'm talking about.
The second fastest man of all time. You cannot devalue that. You can't say that's just a time.
I didn't say it's just a time. It's
all time.
Yeah, and I'm happy. It's very, very good. It's very good. But I'm not going to let you take away from the fact that the man is an Olympian. Because if it was so easy, why did Tyson Gay not win the gold medal? He could have extended his career. Wait, because who's older? How much older is Tyson Gay than Justin Gatlin, if he's even older?
Literally the same age.
So they're both around about the same age, because they were both at the 2004 World Championships.
No, Tyson Gay didn't qualify.
2004?
Olympics.
2004 Olympics, yeah. 2005 was, I believe, Helsinki World Championships. They were both there.
Yeah, Gatlin won that.
And Gatlin won.
Mm-hmm.
So, and realistically, Gatlin is 9-1 in head-to-head meets with Tyson Gay over the 100 meters across the career, and across 200 as well. He's 2-1. So when they race each other, there's some aura about Gatlin that Gay just doesn't seem to be able to take him. Because in 10 races across 100 meters, if you're not winning 5 of them, you're not even. The balance is in one man's favor. And Justin Gatlin is 9-1. That's 90% of the time.
Yeah, and like I say, you're valuing the wins, and I hear that. In athletics, I'm valuing the time. His time is faster. Over his career, he's ran faster times on average overall. And
wait, on average, when you say on average, has he run a lot more races? Has he run a lot less? Because I think something has to be said about the amount of races you've run as well. Because if you run, say, 15 races, and someone else runs 30 races, and across that 30 races, yes, they're going to start getting slower, but if they're still competing and winning, I think there has to be something said about the guy who is running more races and winning more than the guy who runs less races, wins some, but gets good times in some as well.
My point is, it's not going to change. You say good times. For our listeners, I want you to take in that they are incredible times. Not just good times.
Across the board.
These are the second fastest times of all time. He's the 6th fastest 200-meter runner of all time. Now, Justin Gatlin is 5th. He does have 0.01 over Tyson Gay. But Tyson Gay's body of work in the 200 is a lot more. There's a lot more quicker times, and he won a bit more. Justin Gatlin was more of a 160-meter specialist. He had a great start compared to Tyson Gay.
He won 200-meter championships as well.
Yeah,
I don't have the exact number of races that he won, but he won quite a few of 200 meters.
Yeah, I know he did. But
and when the two of them raced against each other, he won more as well. Don't forget that.
You said 2-1. That's 3 times that they raced.
Boxing, fight card, any fight, they would go 1-1. Okay, let's do the rubber match. Who's the real winner? And whoever wins the third is usually winner takes all.
Yeah, I hear you. Like I said, times for me, athletics. The most important thing in athletics for me is times, and Tyson Gay has better times.
So, as long as there's consistency in that, because you said times, this isn't Tyson Gay and Justin Gatlin, but you mentioned Sha'Carri Richardson, and you said 10:90 something is a good time for her when she ran 10:70 something. Technically, 10:90 something is not a good time for her because her peak is a lot higher than that. So I'm not sure which one Is it?
So what I was saying there was because she ran 11:3, people were praising her for winning.
She won the race though.
Yeah, and this is what. Yeah, my point is not changing. I hear you won the race, but your time was slow, so I don't value that.
So if somebody comes fifth, and
they ran 10:93, that is way more impressive to me and way better for you than if you come first and run 11:3. 100%. It's athletics. In athletics, your time is what matters. If you win for 3 years in a row running 11:3, 11:3, 11:3, someone comes into your sport, runs 10:7, and you consistently continue running 11:3, you're never going to win again. You just happen to win at that time because there was no one running faster.
Happen to win? No. The whole thing about sport is you need to beat. It's you. If we were to talk about
athletics is different. Athletics
no,
is
it's
different.
not.
You're not running. You're not always running against the people you're next to you. You're running against the time, because if someone's not at your meet, if you're running throughout the season and you don't come head to head with the other person who's dominating the sport,
yeah, okay, no,
and you're not running the times they're running, come to the championship, and if they're running times faster than you, you're not going to win. So if you're that good, you need to be running against the clock.
So what matters? Running at the meet or running at the championship, or just running against the clock?
For me, the most important things, like I say, we're at the upper echelon. I'm not talking about people like Andre DeGrasse, with all due respect. These guys are great. But these are guys that are like the 10th greatest, the 11th greatest, into the 15th greatest. We're talking about people in the top 5 greatest sprinters of all time.
Yeah, I know.
So my nitpick is, you've got the quicker time, I'm taking you.
Even over at... So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it is. It could be a meet that nobody's at versus the biggest stage, which you said the other day means so much. The Olympics.
Yeah, of course.
Olympic stage. You need to show up. That doesn't matter as long as you have the quickest time. For these two people.
In this context, we're talking about people who are, like I said, the greatest of all time in male sprinting.
Well, that's not what we're really discussing. We're just discussing who are you picking out of these two.
And the reason why I'm picking Tyson Gay is because he got quicker times. They've both won at nearly the highest stage. Okay.
But they haven't won the same.
Justin Gatlin won his...
He has more wins.
Yeah, he does. Wins. Like...
At the... It's not meets. Stage. It's... He has more world championships. He has more Olympics. He has more NCAA championships.
How many medals does he have?
4, I think.
And it has 1 Olympic championship.
And has one, and these are golds.
Yeah.
So he obviously has silvers and bronze, but I didn't include any of these into, because if I do that, it makes his medal list. I already said he's only ever come outside of medal position 3 times.
I did briefly see it. He's got 4 golds and 8 silvers across Olympic and World Championship.
He's the most decorated, if I remember correctly, actually, he's the most decorated male sprinter. Yeah,
his career spanned a very long time. He started in 2004.
That's not his fault. That's good.
No, I'm saying this is great for him.
Yeah.
But like I said, what we're discussing, who you taking. I'm saying, okay, these two are great sprinters. Who am I taking? I'm looking at their body of work. Justin Gatlin has a lot of medals. But when I nitpick, because we're talking about the greatest of the greatest of the greatest, I'm like, I would take being a 3-time world gold medalist. I would take being a 4-time world gold medalist and a 1-time Olympic champion. I'd take both bodies of work, and they're comparable. It's not like he has 6, 7 world gold medalists. If he was pushing 6, 7, okay, now
that's a different story.
Gatlin.
Yeah,
but because it's one different and an Olympic, I'm not going to discredit that. He did win once in the Olympics, so it's 2 world golds. The time for me, the times aren't close. Is 974 isn't that close to, we're talking upper echelon. 969 and 974, they're completely different times. This is me. Like I say, I'm taking Tyson Gay, you're taking Justin Gatlin. The viewers, I don't know who you're taking. They can comment down below, you can message, you can say who you're taking. But me personally, I have to take Tyson Gay.
I'll just remind you, 1-time Olympian, gold medalist. Let me actually be more clear, because 1-time Olympian could sound like you only went to the Olympics once. Olympic champion 1 time.
Yep.
4-time world champion.
Yep.
Top 10 times in 974 to 98. Nah. And then the head-to-head is 9-1. That means when I show up, you don't want to race. I'm sorry, man. Viewers, look. If someone races you 10 times, fine. When you went there, whenever it was, they ran a really, really quick blistering time. I get it. That's amazing. But every time I show up, out of 10 times, you can only beat me once. I'm better than you.
At the end of the day, and the history books are written on that wall of greatest sprinters of all time, Justin Gatlin, now that he's retired, and Tyson Gate's retired as well.
Yep.
If he goes to look at, what a great career I had, he will always see Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, Tyson Gay, Asafa Powell, Justin Gatlin. Tyson Gay's above him. And I rest my case.
Thanks for watching our video. For more like this, hit that like button. If you want to get in touch with us, DM us. And to make sure you never miss another one of our videos, subscribe.